This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday we discussed about that pool SCM, right? Using any one of these options, we can make our build trigger automation. We discussed about the pool SCM. So before that, guys are getting some errors. Okay, see here, this person is getting that 401 unauthorized, right? So when he is trying to push the code to that build artifact to the remote repository, he's getting this error. Okay, Prashant. So what is the error? This one. What is the solution for this error? Can you guys, can you give that solution for this error? Hmm? Credentials. You have to give. See, my favorite students has given answers immediately. What about others? Hmm? Immediately you have to help to the others also. Padma is saying permissions in Tomcat server. Madam, read this error message, madam. I'm saying when he is trying to upload that artifact into that artifact repository Nexus, he's getting the error. He has to give that correctly the Nexus credentials in the proper settings.xml, right? It is not related to the Tomcat, madam. Still we didn't go to the Tomcat. Still he is stuck in that uploading artifact into the Nexus only. Okay, so guys, if anybody is getting this kind of error 401 related to Nexus, you should check it settings.xml. Definitely you are doing something issue problem with the settings.xml, means the credentials, not the settings.xml. Problem with your Nexus credentials. You know where you have to give that credentials for Nexus. Yes or no? Go and fix that one. Okay. So another error. What is this error? SonarQube server cannot be reached. When you are getting this error and one more error also, Shirisha P and Girish N. See, both guys are getting same error. What is the problem with this one? SonarQube server cannot be reached. Arey bhaiya, just check that SonarQube server details. Where we are going to configure the SonarQube server details? In the pom.xml. Please check that pom.xml in the proper branch. Which branch you are using? Again and again I am saying, please check that proper branch, that pom.xml. You are not going to see this kind of errors. Even if you say hundreds of times, sir, we are going to do the same kind of mistakes and we are going to come to you, you have to scold me, then we'll get that blessings, then only we are going to fix it. Then only you can able to remember, sir. Correct, na? If I scold, then only it will be very good. Are Girish Bhaiya? Okay, so guys, don't get scared. So my way of teaching is like this one. So even if you get questions also, without scare, you can ask with me, I will help you. Okay, if I scold, you can able to remember, when I'm getting this error, that trainer was there, he was keep on scolding, he knows only scolding, he don't know how to teach smoothly. If I teach smoothly, you are not able to remember me. You are not able to remember the technical things. Yes or no? Correct, na? Okay. So at least you guys are realizing now. See, in your, and also I'm showing that all these errors, the 401, yes or no? Okay. So guys, whoever got those errors, please try to fix yourself. Let's see how many guys can fix that one now, because I have given that solution. Okay. So now we'll discuss about that build periodically. You guys clear about this full SM, right? And guys, again I'm saying, don't get scared. Don't stop asking the questions. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. No problem. Okay. If I ask this question, Bhaskar sir will he told me, oh, let me ask with others. Okay. If you are going to ask with your friends, if you get that, fine. But still, if you are not getting answer from your friends, definitely you can reach out to me. I will help you. Okay. So now we'll discuss about that build periodically. So if you go to Jenkins, let me log in. So I have logged in. So if you go to the job, for which job you want to enable that build trigger automation, click on that one. So if you want to update this job, and which tab I need to click on? If you want to update the existing job, you have to click on that configure. Right. Then you can just scroll down. Under, see, directly you can click on build triggers. It will take you to that build triggers. Just to scroll down also, you will go to that build triggers. See here, under build triggers, we have an option called as build periodically. So if you don't want pool SM, disable it. Just uncheck that one. Click on build periodically. Just click on this build periodically checkbox. So it is going to enable, and it is going to give one input box. Here also I'm going to give that 5 stars separated by space. Star, space, star, space, star. But at the last star, I'm not going to give that space. So and save it. So what is the build number right now? 8. So now every minute build is going to trigger. Every minute build is going to trigger. Why? We have given that 5 stars. 5 stars means every minute. Already we discussed about this cron tab in the Linux commands only. Sir, now see, build is triggered automatically. We didn't trigger. Now just if you click on this one, and if you see here, started by timer, started by Mithun Technologies user, started by change in the SCM, right? So like this, we are going to see every minute, right? So whatever the interval we have given, time interval, that particular time interval, build is going to trigger. Now tell me, this is one of the interview question. What is the difference between pool SCM and build periodically? In the pool SCM, every minute, every time interval, whatever the time interval you have configured, that particular time interval, it will, Jenkins will go to the GitHub and it will check is there any updated code is there or not. If it is there, then only build is going to trigger. Otherwise, build is not going to trigger. But in the build periodically, whatever the scheduled time you have configured, that particular time build is going to trigger irrespective of code changes, whether code is changed or not, whether updated code is there or not, it is not going to worry, right? So just it is going to trigger the build whatever the time interval you have given. So that is the difference between pull SCM and build periodically. So here, sir, when we are going to build periodically, when we are going to use the pull SCM. So I will share with you my experience when we use this pull SCM and build periodically. This pull SCM, usually we are going to use ongoing development. See, we have created this CI/CD for one of the project. Still that project is in the development mode. So for dev environment, we have enabled this one, and we have given that 30 minutes interval time, guys. See, when we given that 30 minutes, assume within this 30 minutes, we have committed that 25 commits. In this case, so build is going to trigger 25 times or only one time? Build is going to trigger only one time only, because just it is going to check that the previous commit ID with current commit ID. If both are same means it is not going to trigger. If both are different means build is going to trigger. Okay, for ongoing development we use this full SCM. So then when you use this build periodical, sir, so in my project, one Selenium testing automation testing team is there. What they are going to do? They are going to write the Selenium test cases to test your features, your application features, project features. Instead of manually, they written some Selenium test cases to automate it. So we need to run every day night at 12 o'clock. That is my project requirement. We need to run all the test cases and we need to generate the report. So that generating the report and all will taken care by through that Selenium test cases. Okay, that is the my requirement. So that time I have created one job. So for that job I have configured that build periodically. Right? Clear? Now you guys clear about the pool SM and build periodical, right? See, if you see here, build is keep on going on from 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All these build numbers are triggered by build periodically only. Right? So if you see here, 18, 218, 219, 220, 21, 22, like this one. So if you want to stop, go to the job, click on configure, go to the build trigger section, disable this one, save it. So Naresh is asking, can you repeat it? Okay. So full SCM, usually we are going to use ongoing development projects, right? So developers are there, so they want to develop the code and they want to push the code. So we have implemented this CI/CD process. As soon as developer push the code, it has to trigger the job. So in this case, so already we implemented for this dev environment. So for this one, still it is ongoing development project only. Developer is going to push the code. Okay, so we have configured every 30 minutes. We have configured every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, Jenkins will go to the GitHub and it is going to check is there any updated code is there or not. On what basis? On what basis? Based on the commit ID. If both commit IDs are different, then build is going to trigger. Right? Build is going to trigger. So we have created another job to run the Selenium test cases. Every day night at 12 o'clock I need to run. So for that one, we use that build periodically. See here, suppose developers is not pushing the code. If the developers are not pushing the code, is build is going to trigger if you configure the pool SIM? No. But if you configure that build periodically, whatever the time interval you have configured, that particular time, it is going to do that. Okay. So build period is kind of a cron job only. Yes or no? Whatever the time interval you have configured, that particular time, it is going to be trigger. So next one is GitHub webhook. See, in the pool SEM, what will happen? Whatever the time interval it is there, every time Jenkins will go to the GitHub and it is going to check that is there any updated code is there or not. So this process is consuming more your server resources because your Jenkins is running in the server. Na? Jenkins keep on checking that one whether updated code is there or not. Updated code is there or not. Instead of that one, why can't GitHub can trigger the job if any updated code is there in the GitHub? It is possible, right? Instead of Jenkins every time going to asking, hey, GitHub, do you have updated code? Do you have updated code? Instead of that one, so GitHub can inform, na, hey, Jenkins, I have some updated code. Please trigger the job. Yes, it is possible. So for that one, we are going to use the GitHub webhook. Let's see what he is going to do. He's sharing his screen. Na? Arvind Mishra. Are Bhaiya, why you are sharing your screen? Huh? Why you are sharing your screen? First of all, he is not listening our class, and he is sharing and he is doing something. Is that it is very bad. So to make that GitHub has to trigger that job, we are going to use a GitHub webhook. So for that one, what we have to do? So go to your job, click on configure, just scroll down. If you see under build triggers, we have one checkbox called as GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM pooling. Just enable this from the Jenkins job side. Right, save it. Now what we have to do? We have to do some settings in the GitHub repository side also. Which GitHub? Whatever the repository we are using for creating this job, na? Right. So go to that particular repository. See, this is the repository which we are using for creating that Walmart-dev job. Yes or no? So if you see that settings tab, when we are going to see the settings tab, if you have a admin access, click on the settings tab. See here, webhooks. Click on webhooks. Right. So here already it is created. Let me delete it. So once we click on webhooks, you are going to see this one. Okay, then what you have to do, click on add webhook. So here under payload URL, you have to configure your Jenkins URL because it has to trigger the Jenkins. Which Jenkins? The Jenkins URL you have to configure. So take that Jenkins URL till that port number, go here slash, and you have to give the one context path, GitHub hyphen webhook forward slash GitHub hyphen webhook. Okay, so you have to give this one. Okay, then under content type you have to give that application slash JSON. So secret you don't want. See here when it has to trigger that job, just the push event means if the developer push the code, GitHub has to trigger this job. So that is also one option is there. We have other option, send me everything, means irrespective of action it happened in the GitHub, you have to trigger. Or here we see other option is there. Let me select individual events. Click on this one. See here, branch and tag creation. If branch or a tag is created in that particular repository, build has to trigger. Branch or a tag deletion, right? So sometimes if that code review, see pull request review comments, pull request review threads, pull request. Suppose if anybody created pull request or submitted, see pull request submitted, that time I need to trigger the job. So based on your requirement, you can select it. But usually we are going to select that just the push event. If the developer push the code, okay, it has to trigger the job. Okay, so like this, give the Jenkins URL, select that content type application slash JSON, select this which event, just the push event, and activate. Click on add webhook. Okay, so you have configured. Just refresh this page. See, you have to see this green color tick mark. Then confirm. Yes, you have successfully configured and it is working fine. Suppose if it is in the red color X mark, it is not connected. Whatever you have configured, it may be wrong. Please check it. So Sunil is asking why we are going with a specific context path. Do we have any dependency? No, that is the slash GitHub hyphen webhook. That is the context path which is going to use to identify, right? So if you don't use that context path, it is not going to work. Just only if you use that Jenkins URL, it is not going to work. Okay, yes, it's about the context path. Okay, so you have to give along with the Jenkins URL, you have to give the GitHub hyphen webhook. Okay, so that it is going to trigger that Jenkins job in that particular Jenkins URL, Jenkins server. So you can use for other purpose also. See, you can add one more webhook, right? So that time we can use that different context path instead of GitHub webhook. So that's why exactly you have to give that Jenkins context path. So application slash JSON, that is the content, the header. So you want me to open? See here, content type application slash JSON. So we have other formats also. This is a header format. When you are sending a request, we are going to send that the request data type also, the content type also. So it is going to accept that application slash JSON. because we are sharing, we are giving this data in the form of JSON format. Okay, how to add multiple webhooks? See here. Okay, go to that webhooks. You will see here add webhook. You can create it. You can create for other servers also. Assume same repository URL you are using in Jenkins, other Jenkins server URL. So that time you can add other Jenkins URL also here. Clear? So now what will happen? Whatever we have configured that GitHub webhook, so when it is going to trigger, if any changes are there in the GitHub, now what I will do, I will go and update the code directly in the GitHub. So usually in the real time, as a developer, he is going to update the code, he will commit the code in his local repository, then he is going to push to the remote repository. But now directly I'm going and updating code in the remote repository, right? So Nitin is asking, I have a doubt. Star means Jenkins home directory or target or Jenkins. So Jenkins home directory. So you are referring that */ that var file name, right? That is what you are referring, right? Okay. Yes. So by default, it is going to point to that Jenkins home directory workspace. But where your project that target file that package is there inside the project, then again inside the project folder target directory is there. To refer that one, we are using */ the var file name, right? So now let me update the code in the GitHub. So most of the time, what people are going to do, they are going to update in the master branch, right? It is not going to work. Which branch we are using? We are using the development branch. Just scroll down. See, go to the main src main web app JSPs. I am going to change in the home.jsp. Click on edit icon. Okay. So here I'm going to change welcome to Mithun Software Solutions. So maybe I will give like MSS GitHub example. GitHub example. Instead of example, I will give the demo. Okay. Just I have changed this one. Comment the changes. So now the commit ID has changed. Right. So commit ID has changed. It will be 322. If you go and see in the Jenkins, okay, so this one now it got this one, so automatically job also triggered already. So if you see here this one, so both are different, so that's why build has triggered. If you go and see started by GitHub push by this particular developer. Okay, so because of this developer push the code to the GitHub, build has triggered. See, we can see in different ways. So for if it is a GitHub webhook job is triggered, you are going to see this one. For this one, if you go and see started by timer. So for this one, this is started by user. If it is a user, it will show this one. It is a pool SCM build number 8. If you go and see started by an SCM change. So like that, easily you can find who triggered this one. Okay. So Mr. Arvind Misra is asking, is it a mandatory to use a context path GitHub webhook, or can we give any name? You should give that GitHub hyphen webhook only. If you give something else, it is not going to work. Right? Clear, guys? Anybody have any questions on this? How to automate the build trigger process? No questions? If not, we'll go to the other topics. So we'll discuss about that. Pool SM build trigger GitHub webhook. Discard old builds. Disable this project. Delete workspace before build start. Chandan is asking, in real time, we normally use GitHub webhook or pool SM or build periodically. It depends on your technical, it depends on your requirement. It depends on your requirement. I said right here. So I have one requirement. I want to run one job every day at night 12 o'clock. Which one we are going to use? Which one we are going to use? Build periodically. Right. So I have one ongoing development is there. So that time you can use pool SCM or GitHub webhook. Either one you can use it. Sir, which one is the good one? Pool SCM or GitHub webhook? Tell me guys, which one? So after my lecturer, you guys easily can able to answer. GitHub webhook is the best. Why? Because if you use the pool SCM, it is going to utilize more server resources. So that's why most of the time in the real time we are going to use the GitHub webhook only. Pool SCM very rarely we are going to use. See, I think 2 months back, 2 or 4 months back, one of my friend called me. Okay, hey, I want to automate my build trigger process. I have explained that all these three ways. He's my classmate only. Okay, recently he moved to the DevOps side. I have explained all these three ways, and he's trying to configure the GitHub webhook, but unfortunately, he don't have that access to the GitHub repository. Access means admin access. Then what to do? Without admin access, can we able to configure the GitHub webhook? No, right? Not possible. Then he configured the pool HCM because he have the access to the job Jenkins. Right? In the Jenkins level, he can configure that pool HCM. Later, I told him work with that admin team, get that admin access so that you can disable this pool HCM and enable that GitHub webhook. So GitHub webhook is the best practice. You can use that one. Clear? Okay. So if you see here, build is keep on triggering n number of times. Okay, n number of builds are going to be maintained. So it is going to maintain all the build history. So Nitin is asking, sir, can you show us how to change port number and change home directory Jenkins? Wait, Baya. Okay, if you see here, definitely it will be there that topic also. How to change the port number. Okay, I will change. See here, Jenkins home directory change. This is optional topic. Okay, I will show you how to change the port number, and you guys can do this one. See, it's keep on maintaining all the build results, right? I don't want to maintain all this one. So for some of the projects, it will be like 3,000, 4,000 bills also it will be, because from last 2 years it's keep on running, right? So if you keep all the build results and artifacts, as a result, what will happen? Your Linux server, where your Jenkins is installed, na? That Linux server hard disk utilization is going to be more. Your server hard is going to be full. But my requirement is, I don't want to maintain all the bills. I want to delete that old bills. I want to maintain last 50 bills or last 5 bills. Is there any option to delete that old bills and maintain that last 5 bills only every time? Yes. So if you go to that job, click on configure. If you see here under general section, first option, discard old bills. Enable this checkbox. See here, two input boxes are there. Days to keep bills, maximum number of bills to keep. My requirement is, remember, last 5 bills I want to maintain. What to do? Last 5 bills I want to maintain. Which one you want me to use? Days to keep the bills or maximum number of number of bills to keep? We need to use this one, because suppose if I keep that 5 here, what will happen? Last 5 days, whatever the bills are there, n number of bills it is going to maintain. But our requirement is last 5 bills only. Last 5 bills only, right? So mention that here 5. So click on this advanced here. Along with the bills information, I want to keep the artifacts. So here, what do you mean by artifact? That package. Java packages, Java artifacts is nothing but jar, var, here. Depends on your project type. If it is standalone, jar, web application, var, enterprise application, er. So here I am going to keep that 5. So it is going to maintain build information as well as the artifacts also, build artifacts, the var files also it is going to maintain. Okay, and just to scroll down, if you see here, delete workspace before build start. Usually what will happen when we are going to create a job, very first time we are going to trigger the job, na? So that time it will get that all the code very first time. Second time onwards, just it will get the updated code only from the GitHub. But my requirement is, every time delete that old source code, every time get that full code from the GitHub. So for that one, we can use this delete workspace before build start. Delete workspace means in the workspace directory only the source code will be there, right? Delete workspace before build start. Okay, so we have given this one. So save it. So Dayanand is asking, apart from console, in Jenkins Linux server, where I can see the Jenkins log? Baya, you can wait half an hour. We'll go to that. Maybe today we'll discuss about the Jenkins directory structure. So that time we'll discuss about that, where your log files will be there. Job log files, not Jenkins logs. Jenkins logs is different. Jobs log files will be different. We'll discuss. Okay. So now Go here. Nitin is asking, can you delete that? Can you explain that workspace? Delete workspace. Arey bhaiya, see what the Jenkins will do. Very first time, it will get that entire code. Second time onwards, what it will do? Just it will get the updated code only. But my requirement is, before doing the build, first delete whatever that source code you have in the workspace, and every time it has to get that entire code. So for that one, we are going to that delete workspace before build start. Before going to trigger the job, first delete the workspace, then get the code, then you can do that build. So Deepak Naik is asking, can we do it globally or only needed to for every job? Which configuration, Bhaiya? Discard world builds you are talking, or which one? You have to ask that one. Okay, when you are asking the question, it should ask that clearly. Okay, see here, I'm using that delete workspace before build start. Deleting builds. Deepak asked, it is depends on your job level. We don't have option to configure in the global level, because each project they have their own requirement. Some project guys will come and say that, hey, I want last 5 bills only. Some guys will come and ask that I want last 10 bills only, right? So that's why we are going to configure this one in the job level, not the global level. Save it. Now can go and trigger this job. So once if you trigger the job, what will happen? If you go and see console output, see, first it has deleted the job, deleted the project, deleting the project workspace. See, each job, it contains a one directory with the name, job name in the workspace. So your source code is available in this particular directory. First it will delete your project workspace directory, then it will get the code. Okay, so it is going to get that every time full code, right? And if you go and see, build is successful. Last 5 bills only it is maintaining, na? So still it is not refreshed. See, last 5 bills only it is maintaining, right? If you observe that console output, it is not giving any timestamp, means when build has started, right? How much time it took for getting the code, how much time it took for building, how much time it took for executing the sonar script report. It is not giving any console in the timestamp in this console, but I want to display the timestamp also. So for that one, go to your job, click on configure, just scroll down. Here you'll see that add timestamps to the console output. Save it. So Subramanian is asking, is it possible to get that old logs if already deleted? No, Bhaiya. You have to work with the backup and restore team. Okay, if you want that Linux server file system backup. Now, if you go and trigger this job, see that bill number 17. Click on console output. Just observe that the timestamp is adding. Earlier the timestamp is not adding here. Now easily you can see at what time job is started. So till how much time it took that getting the code, right? Then we are executing that build, right? Executing the sonar keep report. Easily we can see here, right? So right now if you see that we can able to see that build now option. Assume coming weekend the sonar keep server where you have installed that Linux server and sonar keep, Tomcat, all these three Linux servers are going to be in the scheduled maintenance. It is in the outage. So it is a already we know in this weekend these servers are going to be down. So in that time if the build is triggered, definitely build is going to be failure and it will send that email notification to everyone. Everyone will get scared. Hey, why build has failed? So I want to stop that particular time, this particular build trigger. Even though you have configured full SCM or GitHub webhook or build periodically, it should not supposed to trigger. Then what to do? So for that one, if you see here, disable project. See, once if I click on disable project, build now option you are not able to see. Just click on. Can you able to see that build now? Now, even you have configured that GitHub webhook full SCM, job is not going to trigger. Right? Even if you see manual also, you are not able to see that trigger the job. You are not able to see that GitHub that build trigger build now option. Right? So disable job is a handy option which we are going to use to disable the job when your servers in the outage. So once if your servers are up and running, we'll come here and we are going to enable. So right now if you go and see, this log is taking that our timestamp, whatever it is taking ist, right? Because we are triggering manually from this particular browser. It is calculating from what is the timestamp, what is the user is in which current time zone, it is identifying and it is taking the timestamp. Okay, can we disable the jobs on global configure? No, we don't have that option to disable all the jobs in one shot. Why na? I will tell you that reason. Because this particular job, whatever the SonarKeep server I'm using, only this job SonarKeep server is down. Assume I have created another job. That particular job SonarKeep server is different one. So it is not in the outage. So you don't want to disable all the jobs. Whatever the jobs server that job servers are going to be down, those jobs only have to disable it. So Babu Endam is asking only admin user can do disable or enable the jobs in the Jenkins. It depends on how you are going to provide the access. Right. When we are discussing about that Jenkins security, you will came to know that which features are going to give for normal user and admin user. Okay. So clear. So we discuss about that full HCM, these things, disable, delete workspace, add timestamps to the console output. So we'll discuss about that Jacoco plugin. Right. Ramakrishna is asking how many applications Jenkins can handle. N number of applications. It depends on your server configurations. If your server configurations are very good, you can create hundreds of jobs. In one of my Jenkins server, more than 100 jobs are there. Right? You can create N number of jobs. There is no limitation. Now I will install that Jacoco plugin. So after installing this Jacoco plugin, let's see how to generate the report. Go here. How to install the plugin? Already we are familiar with, right? Installing the plugin. Manage Jenkins. Manage plugins. Go to the available tab. Just search with here Jacoco. Select this checkbox. Click on install without restart. Right. Right. So Purushottam is asking in real time what is the Jenkins Linux server configurations we will have. Whatever. So it depends again. In one of the Jenkins server, in one of the Linux server where I was installing Jenkins is it's having 64 GB RAM. So other Jenkins, we have multiple Jenkins servers are there. So in another Jenkins server, it's 128 GB RAM is there. Right? We have multiple Jenkins servers are there. We are not using only one Jenkins server. See, this plugin has installed. Now go to the dashboard. Click on this project. For which project you want to generate the report? Click on configure. Just scroll down. If you see here, add post build action, you will see here record Jacoco coverage report. Right. So when you are going to see this record Jacoco coverage report after installing the plugin, then only can able to see that one. So use this option, right? And just scroll up. See, after adding this one, you can see here. See here, we are expecting that how much code coverage? 80%. So keep in all the places 80%. Right. So type that tab, hit the tab, automatically it is going to move to the one box to other box. So I'm expecting that in all the branch level, line level, method level, 80%. See, suppose if the code coverage is not 80%, you should not supposed to deploy. You have to mark build as a failure. So for that one, see here, change build status according to the defined thresholds. Okay, fail the build if the coverage degrades the more than delta thresholds. So you have to enable these two checkboxes. Have to enable these two checkboxes. Okay, click on save. So now if you go and trigger the job, see earlier build number 17 it has successful. Now if you go and click on build now, it is going to mark as a failure. Jacoco is Ramakrishna is asking, Jacoco is required in Jenkins when Sonar Cube is installed in in server for test report. Yes, I have explained. Na? Jacoco is different. SonarCube is different. See, Jacoco plugin can generate the report and it can stop the deployment if the code coverage is not the threshold value. If it is reaching, suppose you are expecting that 80% code coverage, but right now it is 0%, so it is going to stop the deployment. But SonarCube server is not going to stop the deployment if the code coverage is not whatever we are expecting, right? So Dayanand is asking, what is this sun and cloud with thunder symbols? So that is the weather. So however we have weathers, na? Weather, cloudy, sunny. So like that, if it is sunny symbol is there, sun symbol is there, means all builds are successful. No issues at all. If cloud is coming, means some builds are failing. If cloud with thunder symbols, means many times your build is failing. Okay. So we'll see later that one. So if you see that build number 18, it has failed, and you will see that report here. Just first go to that console output and just scroll down. If you observe here, build step, okay, record Jacoco coverage report change that build result to failure. So project is not deployed because code coverage we are expecting 80, but it is 0%. So that's why application is not deploying. Clear? So if you see here, this is the cloud with thunder symbol, right? So you see here, build stability, 2 out of last 5 builds has failed, and code coverage also, see, it's 0%. So that's why it is giving. Just if you mouse over, it will give that one. W means weather, S means status, success or failure. If it is a failure, means it will be red color. If it is success, means green color, right? See, if you go to that other builds, it is showing that green color, na? It is a success. So if you want to see that last build whether it is a success or not, you can see here, it will show that last success when, last failure, all those things here. Clear? So if you go and see the record, the Jacoco coverage report, see, it is displaying the report. See here, you can click on this coverage report. It is going to give, see, I have created one Java package. In this Java package, I have one Java class is there, employee service.java. Okay, click on this one and see here methods are there. See here, whatever the lines it is displaying, na, red color, these lines are not tested by your unit test cases, right? So that's why it is showing in the red color. Clear? But here it is explaining in the detailed way. It is generating the report in the detailed way, each Java class, each package. Okay, so this is sample project. It is having only one Java class. Clear? And also it is stopping the deployment if the code coverage is not according to our threshold value. Clear? So next one is configure email functionality. So Nandabala is eagerly waiting. He's keep on asking about this one, whether Bhaskar sir is going to miss this or whether he is going to explain. So guys, wait some time, see that okay, whether I am going to cover or not. And one more thing, at the I am sharing each topic soft copy material with all the topics. Just go through that one, and if I miss, let me know. Okay, don't worry on that one. Venkat Kurapati is asking that. But here this report is generating after build package completion, right? So is it possible to run the unit test cases? No, first it will do the build, it will compile. Okay, without compiling you are not able to generate the report also. Clear? Because without compiling you are not able to run that unit test cases, right? So now after build is over, whether it is a successful or failure, we need to send a email notification, right? We need to send a email notification. Now we need to configure the SMTP server. We need to configure SMTP server. So each company they have their own SMTP server in the real time. Okay. Now we don't have that SMTP server details. We are going to use that Gmail SMTP server. So for that one, first you can configure smtp.gmail.com. This is your SMTP Gmail hostname. Okay, then username, password, port number. Default one is non-secure 25, secured one is 465. Whatever the port you can, if you want you can use it. So let me configure these SMTP server details with your Jenkins. So this is one-time activity, guys. So if your previous DevOps engineer already configured in your Jenkins server, means you don't want to configure, right? So where we will go and configure these SMTP server details. So if you see here, go to the dashboard. If you want to do any configurations in your Jenkins server, you are going to use that manage Jenkins. Click on this manage Jenkins. Click on this configure system. Just to scroll down. You will see that extended email notification. So you will see this one. We have another also email notification. So whatever you want, you can configure. Okay. So we will configure here SMTP server, smtp.gmail.com. Right. Click on advanced. Right. So use SMTP authentication. So give the correct username, DevOps training blr@gmail.com. Password. I have given that password. So use TLS. So if you use the TLS, you have to give the port number 25. If you use the SSL, you have to give that port number is 465. 465. So here, reply to address. See, once you will get a mail, we are going to click on reply, right? To whom we need to? Usually it will be going to that whoever send. So the reply address. Test configurations by sending test email. Okay. So Babu is asking, what is the difference between these two email configurations, sir? So both are going to use for configuring the SMTP server details, but whatever I showed you, right? Extended email. name itself is there, extended email notification. It is having some more extra features, we'll see later. Okay, click on test configuration by sending a email. So if you want to test it, whatever the configurations you have did, give that email, click on test configuration. So with the new version, sometimes it is not going to work. And one more thing, guys. So whatever that email you have configured, na, this one, username, go to this Gmail, first login into that Gmail. Okay. So if you see here, click on this manage your Google account. Come to that security. Here just scroll down. Somewhere you will see that less secure apps. Okay, okay. So why it is not displaying here is I have enabled that two-step verification. So if you enable the two-step verification, it is not going to send the emails. So disable this one. Okay, turn off. Okay, so now go to the security. Just scroll down. You will see that less secure app access. Okay, so by default it is off. You have to click on turn on access. Click on this one. So it has less secure app access on. It should be on. Then only you have to use this Gmail. Otherwise, it is not going to work. So click on again test configuration. So still it is checking. So like this, guys, you can configure, and I will show you that other one also. If you see here, extended email notification. So extended, some extra features are there. SMTP server, by default it is going to take that 25 port number. Click on advanced. See here, username, password. So here also you can use that SSL or TLS, right? Then scroll down. See here, many features are the default recipient to whom we need to send everyone, reply list. And see here the subject. So by default it is going to take that subject job name, build number, whether it is a success or failure, right? See, these are the environment variables provided by your Jenkins. Project name means your job name. Build number, it is going to increment by one, right, every time. That build number. Build status, success or failure or aborted, right? See, this is the subject, this is the body of your mail. So if you want, you can update also. Regards, you can add that your email signature, Mithun Technologies. So here many options are there compared to this one, right? This is just email notification. This is extended email notification, means it is having some more extra features. So whatever that option you want, you can configure. click on save it. So that is one time activity, guys. So already when we are installing Jenkins, that time itself we are going to do all these configurations. So TLS means it is non-secured, right? SLS means it's a secured one. When you are sending an email, even someone will hack also, they are not able to read that message. It is encrypted. But if you use the TLS, there is no secured way. Even if someone will hack, they can able to read that email body. That is the difference. So after configuring SMTP server with your Jenkins, how to enable that email feature for your job? Go to that job, click on configure. Okay, just scroll down, go to the post build actions. See here, add post build action. There you will see that email notification, editable email notification. So whatever you have configured, you have to use that one. So we have configured in email notification, right? Select that one. So here, to whom we need to send, configure that email ID, DevOps training blr@gmail.com. So here comma separated, you can give n number of email IDs also, and you can give the distribution list also. So DL, distribution list. So what do you mean by distribution list here? See, assume under one manager 50 employees are reporting. So he want to send one email. Instead of keeping all the 50 employees email IDs, we can create a one distribution list. It's a kind of a group. We are going to add that all the employees into that particular distribution list. For that distribution list, we are going to get one mail ID. Just if you use that one, we are there in that distribution list, for everyone it is going to send a email. Okay, so like that, comma separated, you can give n number of email IDs. Save it. So like that, you can configure the email feature. So once build is over, whether it is a successful or failure, it can send the email notification. So Nitin is asking, we have also given recipients in the SMTP configuration also. Yes. So if you give default recipients in the SMTP server configuration, by default for them it is going to send the email notification irrespective of job. So but my requirement is, I want to send this particular job notifications to developers. That time we are going to give that in the job level, that email notifications. Whatever you have given in the global level, that is usually we are going to use that our DevOps engineers email IDs, because same Jenkins server we are going to use by multiple developers also, multiple DevOps engineers also. Clear? So this is one time activity, guys, configuring the SMTP server with Jenkins. So if you enable that two-factor authentication, you are not going to see this less secure apps. So for me, Google guys is saying keep on enable the two-step authentication. Otherwise, we are going to disable your account, because I'm using that YouTube channel. So that's why. So even today also I got one mail. So that's why again I'm enabling that two-step verification. So if you want to log in into this Jenkins, we have to use that email also. Mobile, you will get a one token. Okay. So enabling two-step verification is very good, guys. Okay, later I will do it. Clear? So anybody have any questions? So Babu is asking, sir, can we keep the to list, CC list in mail after build success. Here I didn't try, but if you use that pipeline script, we are going to write that pipeline script. So there we are going to see. I will show you that where we can specify that CC, BCC, all these things also. See guys, we have created one job and end to end we made that automation. We discussed all these points. Clear? So anybody have any questions, guys? So if you are comfortable with this one, whatever we did yesterday and today, so next further classes are very easy. Okay. So deploying application through script is pending, right? So we'll discuss when we are going to discuss about that these topics. I will show you how to deploy the script. Okay, through using the script. How to deploy the application in the Tomcat through script. Okay. So tomorrow we'll discuss about that Jenkins directory structure, create a job using the Maven project type, then plugin management. Okay. So guys, whatever we discussed yesterday and today, you guys has to complete this practice. Clear? Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.